Hey, so for today's episode, we're going to talk about the changes in social media platforms, most notably with Instagram, and how removing likes is a big deal and what it means for the future of social media marketing for you and all manufacturers.
Welcome to Industrial Sage, a free video podcast series all about digital marketing for industrial manufacturers. Hear interviews with your peers and find out how they're solving the same challenges that you might be facing in your own field. Coming to you from the Optimum Production Studio in Atlanta, Georgia, this is Industrial Sage.
Hey, so a couple weeks ago, there was a news article. I'm not sure a lot of you know this or whatever, but Instagram made a announcement that they were removing the likes counter, if you will, from their posts. So, okay, wow, that's interesting. Great, Danny, that's awesome. High five. What does that mean for us, and what does that mean for social media? Well, there's a couple of implications to that. Now, as of a couple weeks ago, now it may have changed, but this was something that was going to be rolling out in the U.S. Currently, it's in 6 countries. I think they were testing it in Canada. And what they're going to be doing, again, this will be rolling out to us, so prepare for it if Instagram is a focus, is that they're going to remove the likes counter publicly. So in other words, when you put a post up and not everyone's not going to be able to see how many people liked it. Comments will still be there. You'll still be able to see that, but likes, no. And that has a pretty interesting implication to it for 2 reasons. One, well, some of the implications are going to be that it looks like Instagram is really trying to focus more on maybe quality versus a quantity kind of thing. If you look at maybe your traditional experience with Instagram, as you go through, you scroll, and it's very easy, like, whatever, go. And it creates that's a big vanity metric. You hear about a lot of Instagram influencers who are like, oh my gosh, they're going to be really impacted. And it's a vanity metric in the sense of, ooh, look, I got 3,000 likes on this post and that one, and you see it publicly, and there's a way to kind of like game that system a little bit. I think what they're trying to do now is focus a little bit more on the quality piece, and it's kind of putting an equal footing on Instagram stories, where it's a little bit more like IGTV rolled out last year, where you have I think you can have like up to 30 minutes or maybe even an hour worth of content on Instagram TV that it's all vertical, which is pretty interesting, and it opens up more content there, and so I think you're going to see a little bit of a pivot. You're going to be looking at obviously getting interactions through comments, and I think it's going to kind of level that playing field a little bit more, where it's going to be a little bit more difficult to figure out what piece of content, from a public standpoint, is going to be engaging versus not. Obviously, comments are going to be very you can see that, and that'll be valuable, and you can interact there. But one important thing to note, I guess, is you will be able to see your likes if you own the account just publicly. Everybody else won't be able to see how many likes you've gotten on a given post. So you'll still have that. So you'll be able to see, But I'm curious, that if how people are going to use that, like from a user standpoint. If I know that my like is, they're going to see it, but not everybody. I don't know. Like, do you really care? We'll see. We'll see how that works. But I think that's going to be very interesting. There's going to be a little bit less of a comparison from a public standpoint. Be able to say, oh, these guys got this versus these guys got that. I think it's going to just kind of level the playing field a little bit more. But I think, again, move more things towards Instagram TV, and creating more quality type content there. Instagram, in particular, really is more about brand building. So it's not like with LinkedIn or even Facebook, where you can do an ad, or sorry, not an ad, but you do a post, and you're trying to drive them back to your website or to a blog article or something else. It's really designed to be consumed in platform a lot more. So it's more about building that brand. It's getting that brand recognition, getting that logo in front of people through a growing audience. Instagram really has been growing a lot, and it's hot. It's super hot right now. And we've actually been noticing a lot of activity in the manufacturing and industrial space there as well. We're seeing a lot of companies are starting to kind of shift there from a branding standpoint. I was on there the other day, and I was just seeing a ton of machine milling companies, CNC, like looking at all kinds of different, these short little videos of just, all these different operations and procedures and just tooling, and it was it's pretty interesting. But you're going to start seeing some more of that being diversified out there. It's just another way of people being able to reach, and as you start seeing more people engaging with that that's a way of getting your brand out there. And so I think it'll be very interesting to see how people are going to respond to that, especially as that rolls out. That as of a couple weeks ago, that had not been released yet, and we're shooting this video. When we shot this video, this happened 3 days ago. By the time we release it, it'll probably be, I don't know, it'll probably be a couple weeks. We try to batch these, so maybe we'll release this sooner to be more relevant. I don't know. I'm sorry, but that's what's coming. And so I think one of the other interesting things is to think about is just social media is always ever changing. So we have to stay on top of it. We know that a lot of manufacturers are focused on social media, growing more so. With our insights report, it was very clear that was a huge trend. A lot of people are, a lot of companies are pushing towards that. I suspect as we move into 2020, you're going to see even more of that. And so it's very important to be sort of cognizant about what the platforms are doing and how that's going to maybe make a change to your content strategy. Because maybe the same thing that you're doing before, maybe you need to make some tweaks to it. Maybe we need to say, okay, instead of doing these posts over here, maybe we need to try it on Instagram TV or Instagram stories a little bit more, which it's interesting that how that performs versus a particular post and what may work, what may not, and maybe investigating, are you seeing a lot more traction on there? Are you starting to build a community there? It's really it's kind of important. These things change all the time. I remember like specific to video, that's always ever changing. 3-4 years ago, the best practice was to upload your video onto YouTube and then go from YouTube onto Facebook, Twitter, social, whatever, LinkedIn. Now, nope, you got to use their native video platforms, which is great because they're going to get a much better results that way. But then you got data and stuff that's scattered all over the four winds, and the big trend that you're going to see a lot of these, all the social media are really doing, anyways, is trying to really get people to focus more to be on property. And what I mean that is, once you get to Instagram, stay on Instagram. Once you get to LinkedIn, stay on LinkedIn. Facebook, stay there. And they're incentivized to be able to do that. So, when you are thinking about your content, even outside of Instagram, let's say LinkedIn, for example, try to remember not to drive people off property, because LinkedIn doesn't like that. Instagram doesn't like that. Instagram doesn't really let you do that. You can't put links to click, the click-through rates are really difficult. But they don't want. So, know the rules of the game and play within that, and then, kind of adjust from there. So anyways, I think that was an interesting thing. I'm going to look at my notes here, see if I copied everything. Yeah, less comparisons, less pressure, less peer pressure. We don't really care about peer pressure here as much. We're not Instagram influencers all the time, but getting your message out there. So anyways, that's what I got for you today on Instagram. Just be thinking, if you're on there, realize that's going to be making a change. Maybe that's we'll see. I'm very curious to see how posts are going to perform. If it's gonna decrease, it's gonna increase. I don't know. It'll be interesting. So, anyways, that's what I got for you for today for Industrial Sage. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer them. You can email us at industrialsage.com/questions. I'd love to answer them for you. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. You can go to the website. We'll send you these emails every single week, and then some. We've got blog content. We've got all kinds of things that are coming out there. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I'm Danny, and this is Industrial Sage. I'll catch you next week.